in this position, a lot of players might be thinking, okay, should I take this knight in f6 and basically give black a bishop that is blocked between these two pawns? Maybe that wins a tempo. No, that's not good. Some players will be thinking of winning the bishop pair and taking this bishop. Well, that's terrible. Best thing to do is to leave the knight in d5 in this situation. Of course, black can't take with the knight because then the pawn will take back and there will be a 4. But some players might be wondering what happens if the bishop takes and then I can't take back with the queen because of the knight, and then I lose the influence that the queen and the long range attacking pieces like queen and rooks will have on the backwards pawn. How do I continue my attack? Well, this is good because you can take with the c pawn, and the knight will have to go to an uncomfortable square. So black will probably go b8 and then d7, but the problem is that this pawn now can never be taken. And even if black will to do something like this, rerouting the knight, then you could take, and that gives a pass pawn. So what if this knight was actually here in f4, for example? Some players will be thinking, okay, I want to give the knight for the bishop because that creates a double pawn or something like that. Well, that's actually not good because black will have a rook on an open file, and this double pawn is not a problem. So what should white do here if the knight was in f4 attacked by a pawn? Well, the best move is knight back to d5. So in this type of position, where black has played some sort of Sicilian game, the c pawn is gone, and there's these two backwards pawn d6 and e5, the knight is just sitting there. It's just doing fine. And the idea is to play b4, b5. And if black had a pawn in a5, for example, then you couldn't play b4, b5 plan. White's best move is to play rook a to d1. If white were to play again now, the best move will be knight to a3, preparing maybe knight to b5, knight c3, and knight d5 once again, because our idea also will be to take the bishop in e7 finally, because it wins a pawn in d6 with a crashing situation for white. And if black were to play rook e8, for instance, to defend the bishop, to allow the bishop to go to f8, then in that case, white best move is knight to b5. And now bishop f8 is no longer possible because you have the c7 idea.